Your gift will make room for you. You just have to work your gift, right? What do I mean by that? Everything I'm going to talk to you about tonight it was a really full circle moments for me. And I want to really shine the light on how a lot of gifts that we have go unnoticed, right? We don't think that what we're doing or what we can do is a gift. Take me for instance. I I enjoy writing. I love writing. Even as a child, I would just write and no one knew that I like writing. I never shared the journals or the diaries that I had. I never shared that with my mom or my dad or my grandma. Like I kept that to myself. But as I got older, I actually turned my love for writing into a business, right? A business that at first I had no idea that it could really take it to the level that it did. I know, like we all know that there's authors, right? We all know that there's people who make money, good money on writing books, writing screenplays, writing movies. So here's what I've learned. When most moms talk about money or earning extra income for their kids or their savings and trust funds and feeling secure in general, they're usually all saying the same things. It's either I don't have time, or I don't know what to sell, or I don't feel confident enough. But after working with so many women, I've learned that that is never the real underlying issue. The real issue is this: most women don't fully believe that they carry something valuable enough to build around what they've been through, their skills, their experiences, right? Because believing that is going to take faith, responsibility, and a lot of courage. It takes boldness, right? And that's why this challenge is called Bold Like Esther. Esther didn't step into her assignment because she felt ready, because she felt like it was the right thing to do, because she felt like she had everything figured out. No, she stepped into this because she understood that staying silent was no longer an option. Fully stepping into her role as queen and approaching the king to save her people was something she had to do, and it took a lot of boldness. And that matters for moms because wanting more for your family isn't selfish. Wanting margin and saving and money and stability, none of those things are wrong. And building around something aligned with who you are does not mean you have to quit your job tomorrow. Not right now, at least, and that may be your goal. But right now, it's not about replacing your income. And honestly, this economy won't even allow us to at the very beginning, right? The goal is creating alignment so that extra income can flow into your life without costing you your peace or your time with your family or your children. Now, that's what we're going to be doing inside of this challenge. Now, for week one, we're going to focus on positioning, understanding where you are right now and how God uses your positioning before the promotion. And week two, I'm going to be talking about finding your voice, right? Breaking the silence, finally speaking up, advocating for yourself and for your business, and learning how to show up with confidence and clarity. In week three, we're going to move into bold faith in action and what it looks like to take the steps even when it feels uncomfortable or unfamiliar. Now, week four, we're going to talk about walking in authority, and this is my favorite week overall. And we go over a lot about owning your influence, right? Owning your leadership and the assignment that God has placed on your life, even if it's not the one that we chose for ourselves, right? You can join this challenge for free by filling out the form below, but I strongly encourage you to join this challenge at the mastery level where you'll get access to my community in Mastery Mompreneur. And inside this community, this is where we're going to apply everything in real life, right? You'll have access to an additional weekly group call where I'm going to break down how to apply each lesson to your life where you are right now. You'll get guidance on how to connect who you are, what you do. You'll get the support around speaking to the right people and creating aligned offers or putting simple systems in place. And you'll have community access for the entire month of February for accountability and encouragement. And then you're also going to get your free 30-minute start where you are audit with me to look at where you are right now and what your next move honestly should be. Boldness isn't just about being fearless. It's about being obedient even when you don't see the full picture picture yet. And if you are here, you're not here by accident. So I want you to join me. I want you to start where you are. I want you to fill out the form to join me for free. And on the next screen that it takes you to, you'll be able to opt in at the mastery level. Let's get to work and let's walk in this thing together. I will see you on February 1st. But in my mind, back then, just like people who are in the NBA or famous rappers, those things don't happen to the everyday people. This is how my mind used to be programmed. Those things do not happen to the everyday people. So the chances of me really making money off of writing books was the furthest thing from my mind, from my thought process when I was writing my first book. I was honestly just writing it just to get it out. I mean, I was into books. I love Omar Tyree books. I love Terry Woods books. The first book I ever read was a book called Mama. And that book changed my soul. It was an urban fiction novel. It changed my soul. And mind you, if y'all are into urban fiction books, y'all know exactly how urban fiction books read back then. And they still do today. They get pretty deep. And something that my young immature eyes should not have been looking at, but I was still reading them. Yes, I did. And I just fell in love with the art of storytelling. So I just started writing my own books. And from there, it just formed a story. And they were good stories. So when it came time for me to really publish a book, I did not know it would do as well as it did, right? Despite the hiccups with the publishing process, because I didn't know what I was doing. Um, People gave me really, really good feedback on the book, and that book went on to selling over 20,000 copies. My very first book. But I didn't know that it was possible for me to turn that gift into a moneymaker. I didn't know because my background, how I grew up, that's just not what we did. Like most of my family, they work for SEPTA. And if y'all not familiar with SEPTA, that is the transit company in Northeast Pennsylvania, right? Or Southeast Pennsylvania. That's what it stands for, Southeast Pennsylvania Transportation Authority. But in Philadelphia, that was the transportation company. And a lot of my family, all the way back to my grandfather, worked for SEPTA. So either that or the post office. It wasn't it was not normal in my family, or I did not grow up around dreamers, people who utilize their natural gifts, right? We sleep on so many talents that could make us money, that could give us the life that we dream of, give us the life that we desire, give us that easy life of making money, monetizing, making a career out of the gift that you were naturally given. So it even says, and I'm going to put some scripture on it because y'all know. Um, in Romans chapter 11, verse 29, it says, God doesn't give gifts without purpose. He doesn't give a gift without purpose. What that means to me is that your purpose, your gift is your purpose. You have a purpose in your gift. You use your gift for a specific purpose. Whether that is to help people, whether that is to save lives, whether that is to, I don't know, build something, create new inventions, whatever that gift is that you have, using your gift to fulfill a purpose, because we are all aligned in some way, shape, or form. By you not fulfilling your purpose, by utilizing your gift, by you not stepping fully into that, you are potentially stopping the divine order, because whatever you're supposed to be creating have to be created in order for people to find it to help them people. Am I making sense? If I'm making sense, then you can let me know in a comment. If I'm not, I need to say that another way. Your purpose, by you not fulfilling your purpose, you're not creating the thing that you're supposed to create. You're not building the thing that you're supposed to build. You're not doing what you're supposed to do so that way other people can find it to help them fulfill their purpose, and so on and so on, right? Using your gift. How do we tap into our gifts? Now, I would like to say that I'm blessed, not to toot my own horn, but there are a lot of things that I enjoy doing and that I'm naturally good at, right? But the one thing that all of those things have in common was talking to people and bringing the masses together. I was one that always liked to bring a crowd of people together. I was always like this. I was the one that always wanted to start a club or start a group or be in whatever it is, an event, bringing an event together. Or I was that in contact person. I was that community person. So no matter what I was doing, the common denominator was bringing people together. It wasn't that I could put on a good show. It wasn't that I can create a nice bag. It wasn't that I can design, teach graphic design and teach people how to create their own book covers. It wasn't that I could write a book. It wasn't that I was good with children, but it was that one thing that through every industry that I've jumped in, through every lane that I've been in, I've always done something where I had to gather people together. That was my gift. That was my gift. Now, that took a lot of digging, a lot of research, a lot of soul searching. That was not easy to really discover, right? That wasn't easy to really discover. It's a process. But once I understood what my true gift was, it didn't matter the vehicle. It didn't matter the route that I took to bring the people together. What mattered is, how am I helping these people? What am I doing to serve these people? How am I making their lives better? Right? How am I leaving them better than what I found them? That's what my purpose is. What is the purpose behind your gift? My gift is bringing you all together. Okay, now that I'm bringing you all together, how am I leaving you better than how I found you? And that is how you find your purpose. That is how you find your purpose. So, in that scripture also, it tells me that you already have what you need, right? Of course, there are some things you have to fine tune, right? Just like a car, you got to make sure your car is running. You got to have the oil, got to get the lights changed, got to get your engine checked, got to go for your inspection, got to go for your tune ups. You have to do that with your gift. You have to do that with your gift, even though you have it naturally. And this is where schooling, coaching, education, this is where those things come in at. Fine tuning what you already have inside you. It doesn't necessarily mean that I have to switch up what I'm doing. I have to change my entire lane to figure out my purpose and to fine tune my purpose. No, it doesn't mean I have to change my exact route. It just means that I have to fine tune what I already know to see how these roads are going to cross now. How can I align these roads with my purpose, my gift, and what I love to do? My purpose, my gift, and what I love to do. You don't need to get another degree. You probably done got 5 of them already. If you're like me, I done started school so many times because I did not know my purpose, because I felt like I needed to be doing something. The average adult goes back to school when they feel like they're at a crossroads in their job anyway. You don't need all of that. Your purpose is something that you discover that's already developed inside of you. So, a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, it's not going to define your purpose. It's not going to define your purpose. Raise your hand if you have degrees that you're not even working in that field, not even working in that industry, because that industry did not give you fulfillment. That industry did not get you excited to jump up out of bed every single day. That industry just wasn't enough to make me happy and enjoy the life that I want, because I felt stressed. I felt pressured. I felt like I had to be there. Raise your hand if that's you. And it's okay if that's you. But the question is, do we want to stay there? Do we want to stay there? No, we don't want to stay there. I know I don't want to stay there. So let me break down some ways of how you can identify your gift and monetize it, right? It's okay to monetize your gift. It's okay to monetize your gift. And we'll get into that on another Huddle Talk because that's a whole nother door we're going to open. It is okay to monetize your gift. First, ask yourself, what do people naturally come to me for? That is the first step that I take people down with my clients. I ask them a series of questions. What do people naturally come to me for? Do they come to me about relationship advice all the time? Do they come to me because I'm a straight shooter and I tell it like it is? Do they come to me because I'm always lending money? Do they come to me because I know how to do their hair? Do they come to me because I'm great with getting their kids to listen? What do people naturally come to you for? Think of the last 10 people that came to you to ask you for a favor or needed your help. What was it? What was it? Is there any connection between those requests? Does any of those requests seem like it was the same request? Does any of those requests fit into one category? That is the first step we take. Okay, so this is how my family see me. This is how my friends see me. This is how the world see me because they always come to me for this. Yes, I like to do hair, but they always coming to me about relationship advice. Yes, I like to watch kids, but they always coming to me to help style their clothes, put their outfits together when they're going out. They always come to me to find the sales and couponing and the deals at the store. They always come to me to help break down what I should say on this interview, right? For prepping them for an interview or prepping them for a meeting or whatever. They always come to me for things that I never even thought that I was good at. Well, sis, apparently somebody think you're good at it because they're coming to you for it. Apparently someone thinks you are good enough at it to where they're taking your advice, applying it to their lives to make their lives better. Light bulb, light bulb moment. That was a light bulb moment. If a light bulb did not go off in your head, turn that light on and let's think. Let's think. What are they coming to you for? Maybe it's time for me to start that advice blog. Maybe it's time for me to write that book. Maybe it's time for me to put out that content with tips and tricks and trades in this area or about this topic. Maybe it's time for me to tap in and do that and let it start developing there. Let it start developing there. This is a trial and error process, but it's a trial and error process that's going to be so freeing for you. It's going to be so eye opening and so refreshing to know that you're trying to search for your purpose. You are trying for your purpose, not trying just because it's trending, not trying because it's the thing to do, not trying because you think it's going to make you money, but you're actually trying some things to start walking in your purpose, using your gifts. Girl, that is going to be such a beautiful journey and a beautiful, beautiful process. And turning it into a business is even better. Turning it into a business is even better because there's so many ways and things you can do once you understand what your purpose is. There's so many avenues to where you can reach people and help people get to those answers quickly, get to those solutions quickly for you to be able to get paid for your natural talents and gifts. You're getting paid for it already, might I add. You're getting paid at your 9 to 5 to do work that you were good at, right? You may be organized, so you're going to be the best organized person in this office. You may know how to put a good burger together, so you're going to be the best line burger in the restaurant. You know how to talk to people, so you're going to be the head of customer service. You already have these gifts. You're just using it for someone else's dream. But we think when we start using it for our own selves, we feel guilty. We shouldn't be charging for it. We shouldn't be trying to monetize off of people's. Why not? Why not? People spend money at your job every day. This is how you get paid. People spend money at your job every single day because they're coming to your job to fulfill a need. Whether it is they're hungry and they need food, whether it is they need to drop off their child for a daycare, whether it is they need dental service, whatever service your job provides, you're already fulfilling needs for someone else's purpose and dream. You are already living actively, working actively in someone else's dream, and why not do it for yours? Why not do it for yours? That was the reality check for me. That was the reality check for me. Turning your gift and your dream into a business is not a sin. It is not a bad thing. You just have to make sure you do not mishandle your gift or mishandle your purpose. And this is why you have to get so in tune with your word, so in tune with God, so in tune with yourself, so you don't lose yourself and getting around those people that's going to keep you that's going to keep you uplifted. Like-minded people. This is why there's a process finding your purpose, understanding your gift, finding your purpose, and now creating a community around you to keep that covering over. Because I promise you, once you start walking in your purpose and utilizing your gift, the attacks are going to be coming from every different angle. They're going to be coming from every different angle. But you got to understand that the armor is on. The armor is on you always. And you got to step fast in whatever that purpose is because you have to fulfill that purpose. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be fulfilling. It's going to be fulfilling for you, your children, your mind, your peace of mind. It's going to be so fulfilling, creating that life that you've always desired. So turning it into a business is a beautiful thing. And it's not an overnight thing. Let me just make that clear again. It's not an overnight thing, but that consistency behind it, that work behind it, it will grow and develop into how it should be because every step that you take toward finding your purpose, you are planting the seed, baby. You are planting the seed. Now, one of the strategies behind finding your purpose is starting before you feel like you are ready. Starting when you don't feel like you're ready at all. Starting when the odds are against you. Starting when it doesn't feel like it's possible. Starting when you feel like you don't have the capacity. Starting when your world is upside down. That is the best time to start to find your purpose. Why? Because perfection is a distraction. When everything is perfect, when everything is all at 100%, when everything is all gung ho, you get distracted because it becomes easy. You get distracted because it becomes smooth, right? It's so easy to fall in line when we feel like doing it, and that's a distraction. Because the moment when it doesn't feel right, the moment when things are not at 100%, you fall off. You didn't know how to work through those kinks. You didn't know how to push through those down times. So starting when you're at your all-time high is going to distract you from the lessons you should be learning when you're at your all-time low. So you have to start when you feel, and this is why I love meeting the moms that are at that crossroad that they're at that crossroad. I just don't know what to do. I don't know who I am, what I'm supposed to be doing. That is the perfect time to start because you don't know it all. We don't know it all. And I'm looking for help and I'm praying to God that help comes and then help comes along and then we start. And then we start. But starting when you're up there, it is not the perfect time to start because you're already on that high, right? You have to start when it feels like you can't start. You know how they say when you're in the gym, the days you don't feel like going to the gym, or when you're on your health journey, the days you don't feel like going to the gym are the days you got to push through even harder. Same goes through with finding your purpose. Only we're starting at that point when we're at our last on our last nerves. We're starting at the point when we are on that last decision to crash out. But we ain't gonna do that. We're gonna get the help that we need, the coaching and the mentorship that we need to find our purpose. Taking one step today, creating content, offering the help, even if it's for free right now, taking that step is going to get you in the momentum of wanting to serve. Giving the information out freely. Telling people what your expertise is and how you can help them. If you're a hair braider, showing them content of how to do boho braids, DIY braids. You helping people or putting the information out there is not going to deter anyone from working with you. If anything is going to pull people closer to you, if anything is going to build that trust, it's going to assert you as an expert. So that way you can see, they can see in real time that, hey, she knows what she's talking about. She knows her stuff, because there's so many people that tries to regurgitate things and mimic things and mock things. And people can see right through that. People can see right through that. Like with me, you're gonna get the mistakes, right? You're gonna get the ums and the different takes that I'm gonna have to do on the podcast, and you're gonna get the off the top of my head, and I'm not always gonna follow my exact show notes because I'm gonna say what comes to my mind. You're gonna get that with me, right? Stuff like that you can't fluff. You can't make that up. I'm telling you as it's coming to me in real time, because this is what's flowing through my mind, right? This is what messages are coming to me as we're talking about this topic. This is not something that I picked from this person or heard from that person. Yes, I study, right? I read the Bible, I study and I read books, and I take things and I apply it to my own life. But I can tell you how I went about things, right? The same way I'm giving it to you, the same way I'm putting it out here on these platforms, the same way I'm sharing information, I'm creating the freebies. It doesn't stop people from wanting to work with you. So start there. Start by creating the things that you know you can help people. You know you got the answer to help people. Start telling people how they can help themselves. Start giving people the blueprint to certain things. Start giving people the rundown to certain things. Start building the audience that you need, or that needs you rather. Start doing these things to attract the people that you're going to help with your service. Stop gatekeeping. Stop gatekeeping. There are too many people in this world. First of all, you're not going to even possess the knowledge or the bandwidth to even serve everybody in the world. So does it matter if you're giving the information out for free or not? No, it don't. It don't matter if you're giving it out for free. Just give it out. Just talk about it. You're going to attract the people that say, hey, I need her help. I need her help. This is my specific situation. How can you help me? And you're going to go in there with your expert, at your level of expert. You're going to go in there and you're going to help those people. But in that instance, you'll be able to send an invoice. This is your business. People pay for therapy. People pay for services all the time. You're not doing anything wrong by starting the business from your purpose. And last but not least, can I just tell you the wonders that it's done for my kids, right? Me really getting excited about coming here and recording. And my son wanted to come with me tonight, but I told him no, because his room was not clean, but that's a whole nother story. But just to see me get excited about coming here, they get excited about wanting to come, right? And not only do they get excited about wanting to come, I have the ability to say yes or no, right? I can take you to work with me. You can come and learn how to operate this camera. You can come and learn how to position the lights. You can come and learn the audio. You can come and learn how to do the camera angles and the focuses. And you can come and learn all of this. Why? Because I'm creating something that I own, that is mine, right? And I'm happy to do that. And we're still spending time together. I had them in the studio with me. Damir understand my middle son, baby boy. He understands how to do some of my editing for my content, because we do it so much at home. Because we do it so much at home. Now I don't have to spend so much time at a 9 to 5 or 2 9 to 5s or 3 jobs to hold it down, because I've turned, and I'm still turning all of my gifts into a business, monetizing off of my natural purpose. And I'm still helping people achieve their goals. I'm still serving my community. And I'm able to bring in the income to give back to the people that need it, to give back to the community. The things that we got planned just for the youth community alone, that money has to come from somewhere, right? And God is providing ways. God is sending people my way. God is sending clients my way that He knows that I can help them come out of this funk and transition into momprenneurship, right? Helping them get situated to where now I'm able to use that money to give back and provide and do more work. You see how that cycle goes? He's going to provide the abundance of things that you need. He's going to provide a way, but you have to work your purpose. You have to work your gift. It is not going to work for you. It requires you to be consistent. It requires you to have tough skin. It requires a level of you that you probably have not tapped in with yet, but I promise you, it ain't going to be easy, but it'll be well worth it. It will be well worth it. And that is all I have for you today. Thank you for joining another episode of Huddle Talks with your girl, Tammy Capri, and I will see you on the next episode. Y'all have a good night.